Good afternoon. My name is Tyana Scheiderman, and this is the Soviet Bloc. World War I changed the face of Europe. Germany was split into two camps, the Federal Republic of Germany in the west and the German Democratic Republic in the east, just as was the rest of Europe. As these geographic divisions solidified, so did the associations and governments. The eastern half of Europe became communist, allied with the Soviet Union, cut off completely from the rest of the world. The west was primarily democratic, allied with the United States. These two superpowers struggled for control in a conflict known as the Cold War. Berlin itself was also divided, and after August of 1961, the USSR built the Berlin Wall over one night. It separated families, friends, and ultimately West Berlin from the Western democracies. After the wall was created, only people from West Berlin were allowed to travel across the border, permitting they had a valid visa. The citizens of East Berlin were not able to travel. Because of these restrictions, many people attempted to escape. However, escape was nowhere near easy. The wall was 12 feet high and 4 feet wide, a smooth pipe at the top to stop scaling, masses of barbed wire, over 116 watchtowers, 20 bunkers, beds of nails over any overhanging balcony, anti-vehicle trenches, and lines of dogs awaiting to strike the instant someone made a run for it. Even so, attempts were made, people jumping out of the windows and scaling the wall. Some would run for their lives over a carefully guarded part of the wall. In total, 5,000 East Germans would succeed in crossing the border to freedom. But freedom always has a price. Here the estimated 200 deaths of people trying to escape to their families and friends, and to ultimately freedom. The lack of self-determination and oppression the USSR instilled on its allies resulted in many escaping from the Soviet bloc. Today we have the honor of talking to Inez and Marian Buran, two once refugees from the former Czechoslovakia. Because of this, the Burans chose to escape through Yugoslavia. They got a visa to go on vacation with their children. They recount their experience crossing the border.
Year before, how we were talking about leaving country.
But everybody knows that we lived in communist country of Czechoslovakia. We wanted to get out. We didn't like the life there, even though we were not starving.
Yeah, we were not starving, but we were starving for freedom of speech, especially.
Right.
Freedom of movement, you know, you couldn't go. Vienna was just
couldn't travel freely.
40 miles from Bratislava, and we couldn't go there. That was interesting. About 10 miles from a border, there were
Hungary and Yugoslavia.
patrols, military patrols, and the way we went, there were Russian soldiers, two of them. So one went to driver's side and asked for papers. The other one was standing at my window. They said open the windows, and they had machine guns. What are they? AK-47, like fully loaded, and pointing
it was this far
at
from
me.
my face.
I thought
here at the window.
I was thinking if I sneeze by coincidence, he's going to shoot me or something.
Well, they didn't do anything, but
they didn't. But
it was
scary for regular people who have no experience with military, you know. Yeah, when we talked to them, they said you better watch your children because it already happened before that someone came from a communist country, took children, and they said you have them in Prague, you can go and get them. That would mean we would be in jail.
As Gorbachev took control of the Soviet Union, the economy stalled and popular unrest became every day. The youth of this country were disillusioned with communism, and the limited reforms Gorbachev installed were not as effective as he would have liked. Perestroika, which allowed for limited capitalism, and glasnost, a policy of freer speech, would not satisfy the people's want for reform. Countries of the Soviet bloc began to protest their occupation. In September of 1989, the USSR allowed the Hungarian border to open. Soon after, similar provisions were allowed in Czechoslovakia. As the leaders of the USSR gave way more and more to the demands of the people, it was vitally weakened, dissolving on the 26th of December 1991. Thus, the repressive regime that caused the deaths of many and pushed many more to escape came to an end.
Somebody up, Bye.